Hi, audience. Good morning. Today we are going to discuss what do you mean by pricing, and the objectives and significance of pricing will be discussed in this class. Okay. So I hope it will be clear for all of you who are watching this video on pricing. So let's move on to the topic. We have all heard the term pricing and price. So we have always a confusion. What do you mean by pricing and what is price? Okay. So I hope this video will make their doubts clear with regarding to meaning of pricing and price. Okay. So let's move on to the first video, that is pricing. Under pricing, we term pricing as a determination of selling price for a product or service. Yes, it is rightly known that pricing, as we know, we are fixing the price of the particular product or the service. That is why we say that it is pricing. It's a process of fixing price for a product. Okay, so that is determining the selling price for a product. When you exchange a product by the manufacturer to the consumer has to pay something for it. Okay, that payment is in the form of money. Like we already know that in the previous traditional market, it was barter exchange where things were exchanged for things. But in the present market, we know when we have to purchase a product or service, we have to give the value of it in terms of money. Okay, so pricing simply, if you say it, what is the meaning of pricing? It means determining of selling price for a product or a service. Okay, now move on to the next slide. We can see the meaning of price. It refers to exchange value of a commodity expressed in terms of money. Like I've told you, under price, the value of that product will be fixed. Okay, so the price refers to the exchange value, how much value you have to give for a particular product. What is the value of that particular product? So that is price. The process of fixing price is known as pricing. So I hope these two terms are clear to you. Now we'll move on to the next slide. Here we are discussing pricing decisions. Under pricing decisions, there are two types of decisions. What type of decision can a manufacturer make? First one is the complex pricing. The second one is the simple pricing. So like I said, we'll discuss the first one, that is simple pricing. Under simple pricing, it's a very simple term, that is you're going to follow your competitor's price. As we know, there are already a lot of competitors in the market. For the products which we are going to offer, we'll have a lot of competitors. Okay, so when you're going to follow the competitors or going to fix a product according to the competitors products, okay, if you're going to follow the competitors price, or you are going to give allowances or reduce the price when compared to the competitors, that is known as competitors price or the complex price. So here, in order to attract the customers or to keep away the competitors, you fix a price called simple pricing. Okay, so I hope simple pricing is clear to you. Example, we either reduce the price of the product or we give allowances. Okay, so all this is a part of simple pricing. Now we'll move on to the complex pricing. Under complex pricing, we are going to fix a price, okay, keeping in mind how much a consumer can give or what is the willingness of the consumers for a particular product. That is called as complex pricing. So you have to understand here that in under complex pricing, the consumers have a option of bargaining and negotiation. So he can bargain for that particular product. That is why it's known as complex pricing. The examples of these are custom furniture or artwork or consulting services, where the consumers have an option to negotiate and reduce the price of how much they are willing to pay for that particular product. So I hope you have understood simple pricing and complex pricing. Now we will move on to the next one, that is the pricing objectives. So as we know, the price of a product, when you're fixing the price of a product, there are a lot of things which you have to consider. There are a lot of factors which you have to consider. So let's look at what are the objectives of a pricing. Okay, it's not that easy to fix a price for a product. You have to see many things in terms. So first one is return on investment. Whenever you're going to fix a price, you have to see whether you will get a return on whatever you have invested. Because when you're manufacturing a product, then selling the product in the market. Then it finally reaches the consumer. Consumer pays in return, he pays the exchange value of the product. So you have to see whether you are earning more than what you have invested. If you are earning return on what you have invested, okay, whatever money you have invested, you're getting it in back, then that's good. You can cover your expenses, but that's not just enough. You need to get something more than what you have invested. Okay, so that is when you attain profit. So you have to attain return on investment when you're fixing the price for a product. So not a too low price, not a too high price, an optimum price. The next one is market share. Like I said, you have to attract the consumers with your price. Okay, because the price is a very important factor to influence the demand and to attract the consumers. So in order to attract the consumers, you may have to give it in allowances, discount allowances. You may have to reduce your prices so that initially you can attract the consumers, okay, towards your product. Once they get attracted, you can slowly increase the price of your product. The next one is profit maximization. As I've told you, if you're just earning the right return on investment, what you've invested, you're getting it back. You cannot say that you have attained profit. You can survive in this case, but in order to attain profit, you have to get more than what you have invested into that particular business. So that is another objective of pricing. The next one is to meet or prevent competition. Like I said, to keep away the competition or to face the competition, you have to provide the product in a very optimum price or a reasonable price, or provide discount allowances so that you can keep away your competitors and attract the customers. Okay, the next one is price stabilization. Like I said, you should not always keep on changing your product's price. If it keeps on increasing, decreasing the price always, the customers will have no trust on your product. So this will affect the sales of your product. So you should always stabilize your price of the product. The next one is price for market skimming. Like I said, the price fixed determines how much you are going to attract the consumers. You have to skim the cream of the market. Starting customers have to be attracted towards your product. If to get attracted, you have to give, of course, discount allowances. You have to reduce your price. All this has to be done. Once you attain the market a majority of your market share, you can slowly increase the price of the product. The last one is survival. Okay, wherein the first objective of every business while fixing the price of the product should be to survive in the market. Okay, to face the competition. So whenever you're going to fix the price for the introductory products, you have to survive in the market. So fix an optimum price which the customers would be able to pay for it. So I hope the pricing objectives are clear to you. If you have understood the pricing objectives, it will be easier for you to understand the pricing importance or significance. Okay, so now let's move on to the next slide, that is pricing importance or significance. Now if you look on to the significance of pricing, first one is it helps to attain the objectives. Like I said, you have to attain the objectives of a company. That is the main objective of a company is, yes, to survive in the market, that is to attain maximum profit. So this can be done only through pricing. If you have to fix a optimum pricing for earning the back your whatever you have invested plus getting more on the invested amount so that you can make profit. Next one, it's an economic regulator. Like I told you, here money is the value which is considered for exchanging the product or service to the consumers. So in order to get the money in return, you have to fix the price for the product. Okay, so when the consumer will purchase your product, they will give money in return. So that money, that is the price, has to be fixed very carefully. Okay, in the previously in as an economic regulator, it was barter exchange. Now in the present market, we know money is very much important for purchasing any product or service. The next one is it denotes the quality of products. Like I've said, if you fix a price very low to the product, it assumption comes in the minds of the consumer that the product's quality may not be good. If you fix a very high price for a product, they feel that quality of the product is too high. So it's an assumption which is already in the minds of the consumer, which every producer or manufacturer should be knowing. So when you're going to fix the quality of the product, or if you're fixing the price of the product, the price should be in such a way that the consumer should not feel that the quality is compromised. Okay. So because once they purchase and it's not up to mark, they will not purchase it second time. There will be no second purchase. Okay. Next one, it influences demand. Like I've said, our product pricing, it influences demand. It attracts the consumers. If it's a reasonable optimum price when compared to the competitors, the major share of the competitors will get attracted towards your product. Next, it influences demand. We have already discussed. Next one is profit maximization. We can earn a huge amount of profit. So, profit can be maximized if you are going to get more than what you have invested in that particular product. The next one, price stabilization, we have already discussed. To stabilize the price, not keep on deviating the price here and there. Okay, if you're keeping on having differences in the price always, the customers will lose hope on your product, lose trust in your product. Okay, next one is survival. You need to survive in the present market conditions and fix an optimum price for your product. Okay, the last one is pricing for market skimming. Like I've told you, to skim the cream of the market. In order to attract or skim the cream of the market, you have to have an optimum or reasonable price. Okay, after that, slowly when the customers get attracted, you can slowly increase the price of the product. I hope today's video is clear to you. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. Okay, and you can send me your queries. Okay, thank you all of you, and hope you will all subscribe my video. Thank you.